Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Next Perfect Step. Today, we're on location at the Olde Ways Mustard Seed Farm with Dina Farrell.
And she's here in Tuftonboro with this beautiful mountainside. Dina is not only a good friend of mine, but she is also an herbalist and she's a farmer and she's amazing with all this growth that she has around her. And it's a beautiful spot. And I'm going to we're going to take it inside so it's not as noisy. And she's going to explain to you about the mountains behind her. So welcome, Dina.
Thank you, Kim and Lori. I'd like to tell you about the Ossipee mountain range, which we see behind us. And it is an old volcano that imploded on itself. It forms a perfect ring dike, which is a very rare formation. And it has several ponds that are almost bottomless, part of the old volcano crater. And there's a lot of folklore. Indians spent a great deal of time there. There's a lot of relics. Some of the stones that came from the volcanic eruption were used to make their arrowheads. And they've been found all the way down the East Coast. So the Indians traded, but they always came back here.
That's pretty exciting. All right, so we're going to pause this a little bit, go inside, out of the noise, and we'll see you in just a brief second. So here we are in Dina's store, and the thing that is my favorite thing about her store is that she has a lot of local artisans that come here and they sell their goods, and for me that is so important because of community and, you know, getting people together and sharing what they do best, what they know, honeys and teas, and I'm going to really get Dina to talk about her tea mixtures and things like that today, but so Dina, tell us a little bit about your store and why you started this.
Initially, I've always, as long as I can remember, made herbal products and teas. I sold at farmers markets, Renaissance fairs, and different events. And I thought it would be really nice to actually stay home in my gardens. So we had this shop built. It's been here 4 years now. Again, along with my herbal products are local artisans, and they just add a lot more character to the shop. And I love supporting local. As a matter of fact, all the wood that was used to build this shop came locally. We have a logger and a sawmill on this street. So it was all created here, and a local carpenter put it all together for us.
That's kind of like the old days, too. We used to do that, come together and build, and that's great. So you also have workshops here.
I do classes on again, and sometimes with Kim here. Primarily herbal classes, but Kim and I are doing a whole, I guess it would be a series of the Divine Feminine, which also includes herbs and energy work. And it was something we started this winter, and it's been going along quite well.
Yeah, and it's nice to, again, that whole community and giving women a place to come and, you know, be who they are, talk about what is important to them and really be heard. And, you know, I'm very excited Dina asked me to be on board with that. So, yeah.
The last one, we had some divine feminine rituals for spring, and Dina made us all a foot bath, which was really nice. Yeah. Like that.
Yeah, it was really great. So I'm going to actually try to take the camera around a little bit and scan her store, and I'll let Dina talk about each space that I stop to kind of look at, because it's just, you know, there's so many incredibly cool things to look at in here. So bear with me. I'm going to try to keep this as steady as I can as we go. And all right, so the first place I'm going to go is over here, and Dina, go ahead and explain to us.
So
and if you want to, are you in there? Yes, you're in there too.
So I have some of my tea blends that I've made. A lot of the teas, the herbs, I'm growing myself. That's my goal, to grow as much as possible. But I do buy in other things like black and green tea and some of the herbs that I can't grow here, like turmeric or cinnamon. I also on the shelf have a local coffee roaster. She lives right on this street, and her coffee is amazing.
I'm going home with some of that.
And if we scoot over here, this is actually, we'll go to the second one because that's full. This is my tea cupboard. And I've been adding to the amount of teas. I'm always trying to come up with new teas. I have a lavender blend, which is very, very relaxing and calming. all different for different things. One of my favorites is the super blend, which is a blend of 7 different herbs that is wonderful for treating inflammation and building the immune system. I actually have quite a few that help with inflammation. Inflammation seems to be a big issue. I have a wonderful turmeric chai for inflammation. A lot.
That's the root of a lot of health issues with people. So this is the place to go, people, because it's natural and a lot better for you than some of those synthetic drugs.
And it tastes good.
And it tastes good.
And there is no sugar. And I mean, if you want, you can add a little bit of honey, but I think they taste great just the way they are. I also have teas for anxiety, for helping you to sleep, for digestion. Some of my new teas, let's see, I forget now. Some of my newer teas, like the Remember Me tea, is for brain health, and just to help you to stay alert and aware and keep that concentration.
Nice. Okay, now we're going to go to this middle section here. So I'll let you, I mean, these are just amazing.
Okay, so these are my herbal products. This is really what I initially started with, selling at farmers markets. There's everything from body oils to, let me scoot in here a little bit, body oils to fragrance sprays that can be used as linen sprays, room fresheners, or body sprays. The oils have different benefits. Some are for circulation. Some are extremely relaxing, help with muscle issues. I do have an herbal salve, which I'm all out of. Right now, my shelves. I just had a soft opening this past week, so we're not fully stocked yet. But my herbal healing salve is a blend of many different herbs, primarily comfrey. So it helps with inflammation and pain. I must give that disclaimer that I'm not a medical practitioner. These herbs are known to do these things, and it's solely my opinion and the opinions of people that use them.
And there's a lot of really positive opinions out there. And research, yes. So
one of my best sellers, besides my tick spray, is my Mermaid's Mist, which was initially named after my daughter, Margot. So it was Margot's Mist. But when we started doing Renaissance fairs about 15 years ago, it became Mermaid Mist. And it's a lavender lemongrass blend, and it's just a heavenly fragrance. I have some skincare products, a facial cleanse. It's non-drying, made with honey, apple cider vinegar, and Castile soap. I have a wonderful lavender facial spray, which is a toner astringent. I have lotions. Right now I only have lavender, but one of my better sellers is the Sweet Melissa, which is made from lemon balm and calendula.
And by the way, a lot of her classes that she gives during the year are based on how she makes some of her products. And a lot of times you go home with something really cool.
I always like to send people home with something. I have a herbal tea blending class that I do regularly. I have an herbal folklore class. It's really fun where we experiment a little with absinthe.
Both Laurie and I have been to that one.
That was a good one.
That was a good one.
So I have some classes where we actually make salves and other products. We do a lot of outdoor classes once the weather's nice, like a day like today. Always thinking of new classes too. So they vary as we go along. Let's see. I do make CBD products. I have a wonderful farm in Maine that I get all my CBD from. It's LCO2 extracted and organic. And the CBD products that I make are body oils and salves. And again, primarily for pain and inflammation. But with the herbs, that they have a lot of herbs in them as well as the CBD. So they have added benefits, circulation, relaxation, healing, scars. Some good healing.
And back pain. I've used it for back pain in the past, and it's worked really well for me.
All types of pain, especially I have arthritis, so arthritic pain. I literally bathe myself in these oils, and they smell wonderful. They really do. Down below, I have my repellents. Tick repellent again is one of my best sellers. Ticks are everywhere up here, and it may not kill the ticks, but it keeps them off of your body. And it has a wonderful rose fragrance because it's made with rose geranium. And then I have a typical mosquito repellent primary ingredient is citronella, but it has other herbs in there, so it's not that overwhelming fragrance. If we scoot over here, these are somewhat my sample teas, and I've done some of the herbs up in 1 ounce packages. Things like ashwagandha, elderberry, stevia, mullein. I have a
Chaga, you have.
I do sell chaga, and that all comes from the Maine and New Hampshire White Mountains.
Oh.
I try to keep everything local as much as I can. I think my furthest vendor is in the Carolinas, and that would be the Camels. I have this blend that is I take it every morning. It's one of my favorites. I highly recommend it to most people. It's a turmeric blend with other herbs, ashwagandha, cat's claw, astragalus, cinnamon, black pepper. That is just amazing for inflammation. I initially made it to treat Lyme, but I found that it just covers all the gamuts of inflammation. And again, it's my opinion.
Is that a new
But
blend?
You need to
newer
try.
blend?
No, I've had this one for a few years now.
Okay.
Maybe
To
2 or
try
3.
that.
Yeah, and I sell things as simple as cinnamon, but it's a Ceylon cinnamon, which is not your typical cassia cinnamon that you get in the grocery stores. It's just a much better, more beneficial cinnamon. Mm-hmm. Something new that I've started this year, and I just started bottling them up, are just your culinary herbs. You know, I kind of always went with the herbal remedy type things, but I always use the culinary herbs as well, and they have medicinal benefits.
They
People
do.
just don't think of it.
Mhm.
They put it in a different classification. But I have some nice blends like Jamaican jerk. One of my favorites is the herbs de Provence, which is just a blend of many different herbs, including lavender, which a lot of people don't realize you can eat lavender. And it's wonderful.
I learned that from you. I didn't
Yeah.
realize that either.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and then just sweet basil and a curry powder. And again, I'm adding to this. I hope to do a few more shelves full of culinary herbs.
So, Dina, if our listeners are interested in ordering some products, how would they do that?
I do have a website. I'm not an online kind of person really, but most of my products are on the website. If you don't see something, or if there's something particular you're looking for that I can even make for you, you can contact me through the website.
Nice.
And it's theoldeways.com with an E after old.
Great.
Okay. And then over here,
These are my facial washes and cleansers. They're more of a toner astringent. I actually have a class where we make these. And they're
which we've both been to.
Yeah, they're made with witch
Yeah.
hazel.
Yes.
I have witch hazel bushes. They look like trees now. And we process the branches and the leaves, and we make witch hazel, and we add our herbs and steep our herbs. And
I
add
use
them.
that all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's it just keeps you fresh and
Yeah.
clean,
Mhm.
and can be used. Witch hazel is one of those herbs that people use all the time without realizing it really is an herb.
Right.
And it's at all of the grocery stores and pharmacies. Great.
But it's better to make it yourself.
Oh,
I
it
thi-
is.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
a
it's a
different thing
different,
altogether.
it really is.
And I do use a strong grain alcohol to blend it. The ones that you get in the store have like isopropyl alcohol.
Oh, okay.
So grain alcohol is a little more natural too.
Hmm.
And that's used as a preservative. If you could just use it with the water base, but you'd have to keep it in your refrigerator. And I don't sell it that way because it wouldn't preserve on the shelves. It
Right.
can be made that way.
And you have animals here too.
I do. Well, the chickens, I don't know if we've heard them. They were.
We heard them a minute
earlier.
ago, but yeah, they'll be wandering up onto the porch soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, the door's open, so they may try to make their way in.
So how about the soaps and all of that?
The soaps are made by a lovely lady from Maine. I met her at the Renaissance fairs. She uses a 15th century recipe, and all of her soaps are made with olive oil. She's a firm believer in no plastic. So she really promotes shampoo bars, even, the laundry detergents, the stain sticks. She has an all-purpose soap that can be used to wash the dishes, to clean almost anything, really. It's just a different concept. Everybody thinks of squeezing something out of a bottle as opposed to rubbing a rag on a bar of soap. but it,
The old ways.
yeah, yes, and it, saves the world.
It really does. Yeah. And your brother makes those, right?
Yeah, my brother is a metal worker. He actually teaches art metal classes. I have a few of his things in here.
All right, and let's take it over to the back room.
Well, the back room is a work in progress.
Oh, is it? Okay. We're not going to go to the back room. We'll go to the counter and see some of this artwork that is also, I love that. That's
Yeah, I love
looks
these
so
little
cool in the
window
garden.
charms, and
Yeah.
I have some in my house as well. And when the sun shines through, it just makes these beautiful little rainbows all over the house.
That's so nice. I love
That's
that.
made locally.
And cards.
Greeting cards.
Tell us about your cash register.
The cash register was acquired at a local antique shop. Wow. The woman there, it was retiring. I believe she was 98 years old. And I wasn't able to purchase it from her, but I got there a little late, but she told me the auctioneer who was taking all of her things. So I acquired the cash register. I acquired a baking cabinet that I use for jewelry.
Okay, and the jewelry is amazing too. As a matter of fact, I'm wearing a bracelet from here that I bought, and it's incredibly artistic.
Adriana makes the jewelry, and she lives right next door in Ossipee. She does a beautiful job.
Okay.
So, Dina, can you tell us a little bit about how you got interested in herbs? Like, I know your great grandmother was.
Right. I told you a little story about my great grandmother, and I actually have a photo up there. I don't know if you might.
Oh yes,
show
we
that.
want. Yes, we definitely want to see the photo. The one.
Yeah, with
This one. Oh wow. There she is.
Wow.
That's pretty neat. You got a lot of nice old photos there.
Most
Next
of
to
them
the Sweet Annie.
are of the house from a long time ago before it got restored. The house was built in 1801. So it's an old farmstead. But my great grandmother, she was my inspiration through my grandmother. My grandmother told me stories about her. My grandmother didn't know a lot, but she knew enough to spark an interest in me. My great grandmother, that photo was taken up in Canada. My grandmother's not in the picture, but her sisters are. She had a good friend that was an Indian, and she worked with her extensively. She had books that she had written, personal books, but they were all destroyed by my great grandfather, who believed it to be witchcraft. After she had passed, yes. But she worked with herbs to heal people. She was known in the community to help people. One man in particular, a story I remember, he came to her because his wife had one significant disease that was going through. I don't know if it was tuberculosis or something, scarlet fever, not sure. But my great grandmother told him to take a beetle from a sheep, put it in some jam, and feed it to her. And it healed her. I've never been able to figure out what kind of beetle it was. Again, I don't remember the disease. I was a little girl when she told me these stories, but they always fascinated me.
That's pretty amazing. It really is. That's wild.
And my grandmother grew extensive flowers and gardens, and again, she never told me enough, but she would.
But it's in Dina's DNA.
Yes, absolutely. And she would feed me and my cousins as we'd walk through the yard, and she'd say, "Here, eat this," and she'd say sour grass, and actually it was sheep sorrel. I found that out years later, and her rhubarb and her many different plants that she fed to us. So yeah, that really sparked the interest.
It's great that it's continued through the generations.
Yes. And I have two daughters, and right, they've learned a lot. They're in their teens right now, but they've picked up quite a bit more than they think they do. And I have older sons, and especially my oldest son, he's really starting to utilize some of this knowledge, which is nice to see.
That's great.
Yes.
That's great. Yeah.
They can use it for their families. And
Right.
that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about maybe a few herbs and what they can do for you and how they can help?
I don't know if you'd like to step outside.
Sure.
Is that possible?
Sure,
With the
we
camera?
can absolutely do that. Let's pause.
So here we are in your garden.
Yes, it's this is an exciting time of year because things are just starting to pop up, and you never know what's going to pop up. I mean, you always worry about it. Last year we had extreme droughts, but I'm very thrilled that the chamomile is all coming back in full force. I made the mistake of actually planting it at once. I arranged these beautiful stones to make a garden. When this is all ready to harvest, it's about this tall, and you don't see any of the stones, but it's beautiful chamomile, and I love that it just keeps reproducing on its own. And I don't know if you can kind of zoom in here. It jumps everywhere. It goes where it wants. At first I tried moving it to where I wanted, but now I've just decided that I'll let the plants grow where they want to grow. And
They know best.
White flowers.
little white daisies,
Yeah.
and it is so relaxing and therapeutic to get my little stool here and sit and pick off each little flower bud. You know, you just pick off the little daisies, and that's how I utilize it. I dry it to make a chamomile tea.
I use it with my dog. I dry it and put it in her food.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm not a doctor, so don't do what I do without checking with your vet first, but it does help to calm her down.
Yes. Very
It's-
calming.
yeah,
it's
it's
great
ve-
for
it's
the
nice.
digestion. It was always used to help babies to treat colic. So it has a lot of benefits. Another herb that I have popping up everywhere, and again, I have gardens of these two herbs, but I let them grow where they want. They're just starting. It's my anise hyssop, and I have some catnip in here. And catnip isn't just used for cats. A lot of people don't realize that.
Right.
It's very calming for humans. It's great for digestion. And anise hyssop is just one of my favorites. It's a sweet anise flavor, but it's I have to specify, it's not that black licorice taste that everybody seems to dislike. It's very flavorful. It's a wonderful herb.
And you
it's
make
beautiful.
cookies out of it.
I do use it in cookies,
In tea,
the
right.
old Italian anise cookies. I use anise hyssop instead of the star anise. And
Yum.
the leaves and flowers are edible, so they make beautiful decorations for baked goods.
And this is early spring, so it's just
Yes,
starting.
We'll have to come back when it's in full
in New England,
bloom
this
and
is
all
good.
of that.
I just
Yeah.
want to show you another one. This is one of my favorites. And it took me a couple years to get
I
to
bought
know it.
one last year
Yes,
from
it's
you.
the angelica.
Yeah, big old celery. That's what it looks like
it's
to me.
related
Yeah.
to celery and carrot. It's much like lovage, which is another herb, which is very similar, but it has a very strong celery taste. It's a woman's herb. It helps with. It's known to help with cramps and menopause. It's great for the digestion. It's very bitter. Kind of tingles your tongue when you eat it. So anything like that, it gets your saliva going, is good for your stomach. And it's just beautiful. It grows, gosh, sometimes 7-8 feet tall, has a big, beautiful umbrella-looking flower that's very fragrant.
Wow.
So it's just a fun herb to grow. It's a biannual, so this is the second year for this one. So it will form a flower and go to seed, but then it dies. So hopefully next year it will need lots of babies to make up for its loss.
That's great.
And you have witch hazel bushes out here.
Yeah, everything. It's April.
A little lifeless right now.
So, I have mint all grown in here, which I was very concerned about because it just turned black last year from the drought. But the baby mints are coming up.
Oh, good.
These are chocolate mints.
Yeah. Beautiful piece of property, and she has gardens all up through there too, which will definitely come back when they're in bloom, and we can see
For you to
a
come
lot
back.
more with that.
We have our witch hazel tree over here. Again.
That's what mine looks like now too.
They look terrible, but you can see all the little buds coming out.
Oh, I know, they're trying.
You can see the spent flowers. They bloom in late fall and sometimes through the winter.
And that's the best time to
Late fall is
Work
the
with
best
it,
time.
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
when the flowers are blooming and they smell so good. You know, when you come out here in April and everything's dead, you get this boost of this beautiful fragrance, and it's these dead flowers.
Wow, that's interesting. That's incredible. Yeah.
And then I also do a lot of perennial flowers. I like flowers and they attract bees. But I have herbs mixed in with everything. I have quite a few herbs, just about everything, I think. Some new ones that I'm adding this year are clary sage, which I'm very excited about.
And that clears. It's like a sage.
It is. It's somewhat. It is related to a sage. I don't know why you don't see more of it because it does grow in this area. And I found that trying to obtain the essential oils, for some reason, it's gone through the roof. So I've decided to grow the plants, and hopefully they take off.
That's the businesswoman in her.
Yeah.
Love it.
Right. And another one is blue vervain, which is just a wonderful nerve food. It helps the nervous system, somewhat of an adaptogen, which balances things in the system. And a grand vision I have for this year. We'll see. I collected quite a few seeds. I have an old cow pasture behind the house, and I noticed last year that St. John's wort had kind of just taken off and done its thing, and that was very exciting. And it made me think, well, what other herbs can just go crazy out here?
Right.
So I'm planning to spread echinacea, catnip. I might not, because it might take off too much. The anise hyssop. I'm going to try for the blue vervain as well. But
It's a great idea.
yeah, all the seeds that I've been able to collect, I just want to let them go crazy out there and see what happens.
That's great.
Well, thank you, Dina. Is there anything else you'd like to add to our?
Well, the shop is open now. Officially, it opens in May, but I did open this past week because the weather was so nice. And it's open Wednesday through Sunday, 10 to 4. And it'll be open till Christmas.
We're here in Tuftonboro, New Hampshire.
Yes. Not too far from Wolfboro, New Hampshire.
Right.
And Lake Winnipesaukee. We're right in between Lake Winnipesaukee and Castle on the Cloud. So it's a great place to stop when you're up here visiting.
The birds agree. I hope you guys can hear those.
I do want to mention, too, that my gardens are open to the public.
Okay.
And that's another thing that I've been working on is you can see some of the garden statues and creating paths and always creating new gardens. A little hard to see right now because nothing's green, but they're there.
So are there time limits or when
While the
people
store's
can,
open.
While the store's
Yes,
open, okay.
Between 10 and 4, again, Wednesday through Sunday. The lavender garden is amazing.
Yes, it is.
It's just starting to come back to life. So that's always a focal point.
Yeah, and I love the stairs that you put in to go up there. It's just really, you definitely have to come back when everything's in bloom because it's phenomenal to look
It's
at.
very different when things start.
Yeah.
I drove by one day and I saw you on your tractor. I'm like, no, Dina.
Yeah, I do love my tractor.
Yes.
It makes work very easy, or much easier.
That's right.
And
That's right.
the lavender is in full bloom on the 4th of July.
Oh,
So that's
okay.
really the best time to come, but it blooms throughout the summer, which is really nice.
Whoop, someone just laid an egg. Hopefully you guys can hear that. And I'm just going to scan the store a little bit.
So we're back in the store. I just want to thank you, Dina, for giving us a tour and explaining about your products. And it's just a joy to come here and to see all your products. So
Well, you're very welcome, and I love for people to come and see the gardens and of course the shop and the store and the classes. I get great joy in doing the classes. So
Yeah, and we get great joy in going to them.
Yes.
And co-teaching with you on them
yes,
too.
it's been
so,
wonderful.
Yeah. So anyway, it is great to have her here today, and I just want to thank our listeners a great deal. Our podcast is really growing, and we owe it to you guys. Please hit the subscribe button because that's the best way to get us to really get out there. We love bringing, things that are really important to know about in your community and throughout the world, because we've had lots of people from all different areas. So if you're interested in keeping us going, please hit that subscribe button so that we can start to get our numbers up there and stay on this podcast. And until then, How is your intuition leading you to the next perfect step?